Hey everybody, Steven here. Today I'm going to be showing you a pec release technique that you can use with a med ball. Most likely if you're watching this video, you're actually seeking this information out just because it is a little bit more in depth with some soft tissue myofascial release techniques that you might be doing. So for this though, you need a hard, solid med ball. Okay, this can't be soft where when I push it, it gives in. Right? We want this to be really, really firm, okay? Now, a lot of people have really, really tight pecs. And on the front side of the body, the anterior side, when something's tight there, it actually creates a pull on the back side of the body. So, when people complain about traps, right, their trap in their neck being really, really tight, part of that problem is actually their pec, okay? And if we're not releasing the pec here, it's going to keep that pull on the trap. So we can work on the trap, but we also have to work on the pec here, okay? Now, with this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lie down, and I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna lean, and I'm actually gonna lay my pec, my chest, over the top of this. Now, you're gonna have multiple spots, so I won't just do this in one spot. I'm gonna seek out a ton of different ones, and you might have anywhere from 3 to 4, where it's gonna feel really, really excruciating and painful. That's where you want to put this, all right? So if I move around, right there is a big one, okay? This covers a large surface area also, so with this, if you can find something that's a little bit smaller than this, depending on your size, that might work also. Just make sure that it is solid. Now, once I'm here, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna reach my hand up like this, and all I'm gonna be doing is pulling my arm, and I hold, with my other arm, I hold this here. Because my muscle's moving, it has a tendency to want to roll out. I don't want that, right? We want to hold this down so it doesn't move. Then I pull my arm back like this. I pull it all the way back behind my back. I set it like this, and then I slowly come up and then reach out like that, all right? We're going to do that just like this 4 times, okay? Now, you're going to feel that kind of pulling through, especially when I come up and I start pulling through this area. Usually that's where you're going to feel a lot of that, right? And then at the top. So with myofascial release, what we're trying to do is hold down the area that's really, really tight. In this instance, the med ball, right, is actually putting pressure on that muscle, that part of my muscle that's super tight. It's holding it down, okay? That's why I'm leaning all my weight over the top of this. And then as I move my arm, right, that tissue is then moving and it's being pulled in various directions, so that as I do that, we can actually begin to help pull and release that area that's really, really tight. I could also, if I wanted to, just roll on this. I mean, that's just basic kind of soft tissue work. But for the myofascial release side of it, we want to create that movement aspect to it, okay? Now, I would find various spots on that. But in the same point where I'm holding down the muscle, I'm going to do that first part that we did, and then I'm going to do one other, which is I'm going to reach my arm out, and it's kind of like a lat pull down. I'm going to pull my arm down like this, and then I'm going to extend up like that. Remember, making sure that this ball doesn't roll with it, right? We don't want that. We want to hold it tight, okay? So I pull down, and then I reach up and through, and then reaching up and through, you're going to feel that release, and then pulling down, right? Activating the muscle, and then reaching out and stretching it, okay? So, if you want to take this a little bit further, you can actually tie a band off, and I can hold the band here so that as I pull, it creates a little bit more tension with the muscle, and as you do that, it can create a little bit more pressure in that area where we can get just a little bit deeper and more of a dig in on that muscle to create a little bit better of a release for you. So, finding multiple spots, I'm doing 4 and 4. If I'm in a hurry, I mean, we don't have to necessarily stick to 4. I typically don't do more than 4 though. I usually do about 3 to 4 on each of those, both the pull around and then the lat kind of pull down like this. When people have shoulder problems or they're extremely tight though, I do want to mention that when we're coming with this wraparound, right, they can't actually put their arm back here like this. They'll stop out here, right? That's not good. They're so tight they can't wrap around like that. Now, if you're standing and you do that, and this is a medical exercise test, where I'm standing and I wrap my arm around like that, we call it the wallet test or the bra test. If you can't do that, you're so tight that that's creating a problem, or it's actually painful, right? Tightness is one thing where I can say, all right, we got to release the pec, we got to work on the traps and just doing some soft tissue work on the shoulder. If it is painful, you need to seek out a physical therapist, you need to talk to your doctor, chiropractor. It could signify that some things are going on with your rotator cuff or just the internal components of your shoulder. So I hope this helps you with some of your pec release techniques that you're using. And go ahead, if you want to click the subscribe button. I'm going to be doing some more of these soft tissue videos, not only utilizing this, but the foam roll and the lacrosse ball also. So thank you guys so much for watching.